Hey everybody, Eve here. Today's video is a follow-up video to the scam Plush Puppy websites that's ripping everybody off. Everybody thinks they're getting a gorgeous, realistic, lifelike looking plush puppy of some kind. In my case, it was a toy Yorkshire Terrier puppy from Emma's Realistic Toys, or Realistic Toys by Emma. I have a terrible time remembering the exact name of the scammer's website, but I do have the links in this video below, and I am going to link to the original video that's now gotten over 4,000 views. Yes, 4,000 views, meaning a lot of people have been ripped off by this scammy website that produces these counterfeit, substandard, horrendous, Chewbacca-looking creatures that look nothing like the adorable, realistic-looking plush puppies that's on the website. And I am just blown away by how many people have reached out to me and said, Eve, they got me. And then, but more than the people that were scammed and were sharing their experience of being scammed with me, and they empathized with me for having been scammed as well, although I did win my PayPal case and got a complete and full refund and didn't even have to return the horrendous monstrosity that I pretty much gave away, and I hope she throws it away. I don't care what she does. But more than the people that were empathizing that I got ripped off, and they got ripped off as well, were the people who told me, Eve, thank you so much for doing this video, and as a result of you doing this video, I wasn't ripped off. That really warms my heart, because that's the purpose of my doing the video, is as a community, Facebook and YouTube and Instagram or whatever social media platform you're on, we all need to look out for one another. And unfortunately, these unscrupulous advertisers and social media platforms, they don't care. As long as people pay them, they run the ads. And unfortunately, these websites are everywhere selling this scammy merchandise, and 9 times out of 10, almost all of them originate in China. But they will give you the appearance that they're located in the United States. And I have found that the best thing that any of us can do is research. Whenever you see these websites, these products being featured on Facebook, primarily Facebook, that's where I see most of them, but they can happen anywhere on the internet. Go to the website, click on the contact page or the about information page. The things that you need to be looking for is a phone number, and secondly, an address. And if there's a way to contact that website once you have placed a purchase, then that gives you an added advantage. But when you go to these websites and all you see for the contact information is an email address, don't do it. Just take my word for it. Don't do it. Do some more research. Go to YouTube, do a Google search, and enter whatever it is, whatever the product is. If it's a plush puppy scam, enter that, plush puppy scam. If it's a handbag, enter whatever particular type of handbag they seem to be offering. Or if it's clothing, just Google the heck out of it. Do a web search and really do your due diligence and see if this is a legit company or not, or a legitimate website or not. And chances are, all of you will find that 9 times out of 10, they won't be, and it will spare you the grief. So what I'm going to be doing today, and the primary purpose of this video, is to let all of you know, many of these people that responded to that video, they also responded with links to where to these scammy websites that featured these plush puppies and are sending counterfeits. So I'm positive that this list is going to continue to grow. And what I'm asking all of you to do today is be a good citizen. And if you have ran across one of these scammy plush puppy websites, I don't care if it's the Yorkie, it doesn't matter what kind of puppy it is. If you know of a website that is selling or acting as if they're selling very realistic looking plush puppies, and you know for a fact they're sending cheap counterfeits, or you've received a cheap counterfeit and not at all what you ordered, then by all means share that link, because I'm going to go back to that video and add those links so that people who view that video can also go down beneath the video and look at the websites to verify that these are scammy websites, and please don't purchase from them. And one of the future videos I would like to do is I'm actually going to do a video of where you can actually purchase some realistic and authentic plush like puppies. Unfortunately, they're going to be rather costly. These artists are generally located outside of the country of the United States. Unfortunately, we have a lot of great artists in the United States. I just don't see or aren't aware of any of them that are creating realistic and lifelike looking puppies and other animals like some of the artists that I have found that are unfortunately located in the Ukraine and over the river and through the woods. They're just not in the United States. And if they are, I haven't found them. And I looked pretty, exhaustively. So at any rate, I hope these videos will be helpful and for most of you or many of you, and that it will prevent you from making a very costly mistake. I mean, I even had one lady that told me that she had been ripped off for over $500 because she purchased a whole bunch of these Chewbacca looking wolf dogs, for Christmas, for family. And she's mortified and horrified and, feels she got ripped off. I did a follow-up video on that original scam puppy website video where I actually explained to people, or tried to explain to people, how I actually won the PayPal suit, so that, to encourage people to just don't lie down and don't roll over to these people, these scammers. Don't let them win. If you fight and continue the process with PayPal and keep appealing to them that what they sent you was not what you ordered, and it's a very good chance that you will prevail in the end. The biggest thing that I've noticed about these scammers that causes them to win is because when you open the case with item not as described to PayPal, it's incumbent, or it behooves you, to provide sufficient information as to why the product you received was not like the product that you believed you had purchased. So you'll have to do that with photographs and actually show them the item, and then give them a link to the website to the item that you thought you were receiving, and you'll have to include the description, because like the monstrosity that I received on the original website, it said that it's jointed and it's filled with steel beads and fiber fill, and it's posable, and it's airbrushed and had polymer clay, sculpted clay paws and a nose and what have you, and glass eyes. None of those things were present on the item I received. So they did accept the claim on that case and proceeded. What almost got me caught up with is once PayPal gets an item not as described claim, they forward it to the scammers, and they say this person is declaring that the item that they received was not the item that they ordered and is not as described. And then these people respond. Here's usually their response. Fine, you tell that customer to return that item, and as soon as we receive it, we will refund her. Well, herein lies the problem. When I took the horrendous mutt dog to the post office, the girl at the post office, and this thing didn't even weigh a pound. I'm not kidding, peeps. It was light. And I had it in the original Tyvek packaging. I mean, very cheap. This is just cheap. Didn't weigh a pound, I assure you. It's probably 8 ounces, if that. I don't know. It was light. I mean, it's like picking up an empty, gallon water carton. Or, it was that light. It's just filled with air. There was no stuffing, anything like that. And she said, oh, well, this is going to cost you $27 to ship it back. Well, needless to say, I'm standing there with my mouth open going like, what? Because if you think about it, I paid $46 for the item, and $27? $5, I'd have done it. $5, I'd have done it. So, needless to say, I appealed to PayPal. I continued, I went back to them and I said, look, it's going to cost me $27 to ship this thing back. And I'm like, and I don't think that's fair that I have to should pay this astronomical amount of shipping for an item that I didn't order in the first place. And I said, and I honestly believe that this is the strategy these scammers are using to their advantage. They know when they ship these crappy, substandard, counterfeit, nasty creatures to us, that they've scammed us, out of our hard-earned money over. They know that most of us will not be able to pay the shipping, or not willing to go through the hassle of shipping the item back. They know how costly it is. How much did it cost for them to ship it here? I don't know. It's probably cost them pennies, but it costs a lot to ship things back to China, and they know that, and they're gambling on that. So I appealed to the PayPal claims people. I was like, I just don't think it's fair. I didn't order this. They sent this, and now I have to ship it back and suffer this horrendous loss. I just feel like they're winning because of this. People shouldn't be permitted or be allowed to do this to people. I shouldn't have to pay for a scammer to be successful at scamming me out of my money. Now, granted, had I shipped the item back for $27 and got the balance, got the difference, I wouldn't have been ahead. See, I still lose. They still win. Because that item, you guys, any of you that watched that video with that scam puppy in it, and you saw me beating on it, and it was hollow, and this is Chewbacca-looking monstrosity. It was horrible. It was horrible. I was mortified. I was mad, and rightfully so. That's I'm not shipping that back. I'm not eating that loss. It's not fair. It wasn't fair to me. It's not fair to any of you to get ripped off by scammy people like that. And I think PayPal saw that. They saw the logic in that, because I was able to bring up what I believe is the strategy of the scammers. And that's to, number one, usually by the time you get this item, sometimes it could be 2 weeks, it could be 2 months. If these things get caught up in customs, it could be months before you get it. And so you have forgotten maybe where you purchased it from. You've maybe deleted your emails. You maybe didn't do screenshots of the original item, or you may have forgotten the website you even went to. See, I didn't do that. I kept track of the website I purchased it from. I took screenshots. I use my phone. I do screenshots. You can get a piece of software that'll do so. It captures everything, captures all the information. Then sometimes I email stuff to myself, and then I have folders in my Gmail account where when I have a claim or a follow-up or a dispute, everything's neatly put in there. And then when I received the item, I took photographs of the packaging, the outside, the item itself. And you're just going to have to communicate ad nauseum with PayPal, because they don't know what you've experienced. They don't know what you did. They handle millions of claims annually, no doubt. Tens of thousands of claims daily, I'm sure. So you have to share, you have to make it perfectly clear what your position is, what happened, how it happened, and then fight. Just continue to fight. Don't take no for an answer. Reason with their humanity. That why should I return this? I'm losing. I'm still losing. And like I said, most people, unfortunately, from the responses I've been getting from that, previous video, most people do give up. They don't fight. They just resign themselves to, this isn't going to go anywhere. PayPal's not going to find in my favor, or they didn't find in my favor. And unfortunately, that does happen sometimes too. I just wasn't about to lay down. I wasn't about to roll over. So I recommend none of you do too. So I'm going to have the link to that puppy scam website, and so that's going to have all of the links to all of the sites that I know of that are scam sites. And you won't get a plush puppy from any of those websites. And like I said, if you guys would go to that video, view it, and then if you happen to be on the internet and you run across one of those scammy plush puppy websites, send it to me. Put it in the comments, and I'll add it. And we'll beat these people. We'll beat these people because we're better than this, right? We're not going to take it anymore, right? We're not going to take it. They can all, they can all go out of business. It'll be a great day when that happens. So while you're here, thumbs up, comment on, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And while you're subscribing to my YouTube channel, ring that notification bell for future video uploads. And yeah, come on, man, watch the original video and leave a link, okay? Let's stop these thieves.